Barrel's remnants are still dumping 5 to 10 inches of rain across the southern states right now. Flash flood emergency warnings are in effect from East Texas all the way north to Illinois right now. And by early July, freeze warnings are being discussed for Oregon and Idaho valleys while the Midwest boils. 3 extreme weather systems are running simultaneously across America tonight, and none of them are done. This is the kind of weather week that gets written into American meteorological history books, mark my words. Let's start with the most dangerous immediate threat tonight, Barrel's catastrophic inland flooding. Barrel has made landfall and downgraded to a tropical depression, but the danger has not gone down. The center of Barrel's circulation is now tracking through Arkansas and Missouri, carrying enormous moisture inland. Even as a depression, Barrel keeps pumping Gulf of Mexico moisture into the southern states tonight. 5 to 10 inches of rainfall are still falling right now, and more is on the way tomorrow. Flash flood emergency. The highest flash flood designation the National Weather Service issues is active now. That emergency corridor now stretches from East Texas all the way to Illinois, an extraordinary geographic footprint. This is not a thunderstorm event. This is a sustained tropical rainfall event covering hundreds of square miles. Tropical systems drop rain at rates that urban and suburban drainage systems simply cannot handle. A street with 6 inches of visible water may have 3 feet of running current beneath it. Turn around, don't drown. That rule has saved more lives than any other weather safety message ever created. Never use a car to escape flooding. Cars are swept away in just 18 inches of moving water. Tomorrow, Barrel's remnants merge with the Ohio Valley Trough, and the flooding threat spreads even further northeast. The outer rain bands on the northeast side of Barrel's circulation are producing brief spin-up tornadoes. These brief tornadoes have no warning time. Your only protection is having alerts on at all times. Tonight, Barrel's winds are gone, but the inland flooding threat remains every bit as dangerous tonight. East Texas and Louisiana ground has already absorbed enormous rain over the past 24 hours, saturation point. When the ground is already saturated, even moderate rainfall immediately becomes surface runoff, instant flooding. Houston, the tropical moisture from Barrel's remnants continues to produce ongoing flooding risk through tomorrow. Memphis and Little Rock, you sit squarely in Barrel's moisture corridor with heavy rain and flooding risk tonight. New Orleans is past the surge threat, but additional Barrel rainfall remains a flooding concern tonight. Branson, Joplin, Jefferson City, and St. Louis heavy rain set up from Thursday into Thursday night. Stay aware. St. Louis and Louisville Thursday night could deliver 2 to 4 inches of rain in some local areas. The Mississippi River Corridor and Ohio Valley are the primary heavy rainfall zones through July 1st. Tell me your city in the comments, especially if you are in the Barrel flooding zone tonight. Tomorrow, Thursday, the focus shifts to the lower Missouri Valley and Ohio River Valley for heavy rainfall. Branson, Joplin, Jefferson City, St. Louis, and Louisville, heavy rain set up Thursday into Thursday night. Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, and Oklahoma will all see scattered to numerous thunderstorms Thursday afternoon. Indianapolis and Dayton Thursday into Thursday night brings a heavy rain setup that needs monitoring for flooding. Localized areas near Bloomington, St. Louis, and Rolla could see even higher rain totals. Watch for flooding. Now let's talk about the squall line tonight. It is still running and hitting the Appalachians hard. The squall line that started as plain supercells is now a 1,000-mile arc sweeping toward the East Coast. A 1,000-mile squall line is a rare and extraordinary meteorological event. It does not simply dissipate overnight. Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Maryland are getting hit by 70-plus miles per hour straight-line winds from this squall line right now. The temperature differential and upper-level winds are keeping this system at extreme speed and extreme intensity. Tonight's Appalachian impacts from this squall line will leave thousands without power through the weekend. Tomorrow, this squall line interacts with warm, humid coastal air, and that produces explosive afternoon thunderstorms. Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, and New York City. Afternoon explosive storms tomorrow, roughly 2 to 7 p.m. Trees will come down, power lines will be cut, and urban flash flooding will gridlock I-95 traffic tomorrow. For I-95 corridor tomorrow, plan your afternoon commute before 2 p.m. or after 8 p.m. to avoid storms. Brief tornadoes can form on the leading edge of this squall line. Keep weather alerts active tonight. Comment your city below if you are in Pennsylvania, Virginia, Maryland, or anywhere along the I-95 corridor tonight. Today still has an enhanced level 3 risk across Wyoming, the Nebraska Panhandle, and northeast Colorado. This same region has now had enhanced or slight severe weather risk for 3 consecutive days. Remarkable. Damaging winds and large hail are the primary hazards today. An isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. Storms are already moving across eastern Oklahoma as we speak, with more firing up through today and tonight. Wisconsin and northern Illinois also have a slight risk today. Eau Claire, Green Bay, Appleton, Milwaukee, Madison, Utah carries a slight risk today. Outflow wind gust will be the main concern this afternoon. Multiple storm systems are working in tandem today. Remnant boundaries are setting up shop across several states. If you live in the Midwest or Ohio Valley, expect multiple rounds of severe weather and heavy rain. Being prepared before a flooding or severe weather event gives you options. Waiting gives you none. Now let's look at the big picture, because what is building for this weekend is genuinely extraordinary. As we get into this weekend, the last weekend of June, storm fuel is shifting dramatically northward. The forecast models are showing charcoal and black colors for instability. Those indicate extreme storm fuel levels. Any storm tapping into charcoal level instability can turn severe within minutes. That is not an exaggeration. Saturday, June 27th, a low-pressure trough ejects into the northern plains, creating an elevated Dakotas threat. Sunday, June 28th, is shaping up as an enhanced Dakotas severe weather day, potentially significant. Early next week, the Ring of Fire pattern takes full control. Progressive derechos are possible almost daily. A progressive derecho is a fast-moving line of storms covering hundreds of miles, damaging winds, hail, tornadoes. Ring of Fire puts severe storm clusters over the Midwest, Ohio Valley, Northeast, and Eastern Seaboard. Each derecho in a Ring of Fire pattern can affect multiple states in a matter of hours. The Ring of Fire occurs once or twice per summer. This year's version looks like a significant one. This active severe weather stretch runs through early July, 10 days before our nation celebrates the 4th. The last weekend of June begins what could be a 10-plus day active severe weather stretch nationwide. Friday, June 26th, continues the active Central Plains pattern: Montana, Wyoming, Western Dakotas, Eastern Colorado. Prepare for multiple back-to-back severe weather events. This is what the Ring of Fire pattern demands. The pattern entering late June through July is genuinely active. This is not a typical summer setup. Now let's address the heat. The temperature contrast coming over the next 10 days is absolutely stunning. Enjoy the relatively cool temperatures across the eastern U.S. right now, because this ends very soon. The subtropical ridge amplifies dramatically heading into next week. This will be the hottest stretch of the season. The hottest and most humid conditions of this entire season arrive across the central and eastern U.S. A large subtropical ridge is confirmed to bring record-breaking heat conditions near the 4th of July. The Corn Belt, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana faces heat index values above 110 degrees by mid-next week. The corn crop makes it worse. Corn transpires moisture into the air, driving heat index values higher. Overnight lows in the 70s to low 80s give the body zero recovery time from the heat. The stunning contrast freeze warnings are being discussed for Oregon and Idaho valleys by early July. Oregon and Idaho may see near freezing temperatures in their valleys, while the Midwest bakes at 110 degrees. That spread from Pacific Northwest freeze to Midwest 110 degrees reflects an extremely amplified jet stream. El Niño, an amplified jet stream, and a major hurricane landfall together make this an extraordinary stretch. The East Coast gets some heat relief in mid to late July as the ridge eventually shifts westward. But under the center of the ridge, there will be drought intensification, no rain, just baking heat. If you work outdoors in the heat zone next week, hydrate before you go outside. not only after. Check on elderly family and neighbors daily. During this heat wave, heat illness can progress very fast. The 4th of July 250th anniversary is looking wet across the east with an active severe weather pattern. The western U.S. looks dry for July 4th. The eastern half deals with heat, humidity, and storm clusters. Monsoon moisture and ring of fire dynamics will keep the Ohio Valley and Northeast active through July. The strong monsoon season across the Four Corners, Wyoming and Montana could provide much-needed drought relief. El Niño is also contributing to the intense ridge of high pressure building over the central U.S. Now let's check the tropics. The Atlantic is quieter, but the East Pacific is rapidly heating up. El Niño is keeping East Pacific water temperatures unusually warm, and that supports longer-living tropical systems. After July 4th, tropical systems may develop in the East Pacific and track westward toward Hawaii. If there was any season Hawaii needed to watch for East Pacific tropical threats, this is the season. Hawaiian Islands residents monitor East Pacific tropical development beginning July 4th and continuing through the month. 2026 is writing its own chapter in American weather history, and June is just the opening page. The ring of fire pattern and the subtropical ridge together make July 2026 one to watch very closely. Let's run through the city-specific forecast, starting with the Beryl rainfall zone tonight and tomorrow. East Texas and western Louisiana, you remain in the flash flood emergency zone through at least tomorrow morning. Memphis and Little Rock, heavy rain corridor and ongoing flooding risk from Beryl's remnants tonight. Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Maryland, the squall line with 70-plus miles per hour winds is hitting your area right now. Milwaukee, Madison, Green Bay, and Eau Claire, slight risk today with damaging winds and isolated tornado possibility. Wyoming, Nebraska Panhandle, Northeast Colorado, enhanced risk today. Third consecutive day for this same region. Kansas City and Wichita Thursday brings scattered thunderstorms with a lingering tornado threat through the evening. Indianapolis and Dayton, heavy rain corridor Thursday night. Need your close attention for flooding potential. Atlanta and Jacksonville heat dome, 110 to 115 degrees. No overnight relief. Heat stroke risk genuinely high. Phoenix, Death Valley, and the desert Southwest, 115 degrees or above, with red flag warnings still active. Bismarck and Rapid City elevated severe weather risk coming Saturday, June 27th into Sunday, June 28th. Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana, Corn Belt heat index above 110 degrees, arriving by the middle of next week. Pacific Northwest Valleys, Oregon, and Idaho monitor closely for near-freezing conditions by early July. Hawaii monitor East Pacific tropical development carefully beginning July 4th. El Niño makes this season different. The Midwest and Ohio Valley rainfall belt through July 1st delivers 1 to 4 inches in the corridor. New Orleans passed the surge, but ongoing Beryl rainfall and Beryl flood threat through tonight and tomorrow. The southeast heat dome over Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas maintains heat index 110 to 115 degrees. If your city isn't on this list, comment below and we'll get you a specific weather update. Let's bring the whole picture together. The next 10 days are among the most loaded forecasts of 2026. Beryl's remnants, 5 to 10 inches of rain, flash flood emergency from East Texas to Illinois. Squall lines still running 70-plus miles per hour hitting Appalachians tonight. Explosive I-95 corridor. Storms tomorrow. Oregon and Idaho potentially near freezing, while Iowa and Illinois cook at 110-degree heat index next week. Ring of fire plus progressive derechos through early July. This is a prolonged and active severe period. Make sure all your weather alerts are active across every device you own, phone, tablet, and NOAA radio. For Beryl, flooding. Never walk or drive through floodwater. Never assume the road beneath is still intact. NOAA weather radio is absolutely essential this week. Have your battery-powered unit ready and turned on now. Share this forecast with family who may be in the path of any of these weather systems tonight. Honest to goodness, this is the kind of weather week that makes lifetime weather watchers shake their heads. What part of this forecast hits closest to home for you tonight? Tell us in the comments. Are you dealing with barrel, flooding, the squall line, the heat dome, or wildfire smoke tonight? We'll push updates through the night as barrel moves. The squall line tracks east, and new data arrives. We will have a comprehensive update tomorrow morning covering all active systems and the upcoming weekend threat. Plain and simple, the next 10 days of American weather demand your full and sustained attention. Stay safe, stay weather aware, and stay connected. This is one of the most dangerous weeks of 2026. Stay with us through this week. These patterns require daily updates, and we will be here every morning. Heat is the silent killer. More Americans die from heat annually than from tornadoes and floods combined. The barrel flooding tomorrow in Arkansas and Missouri will affect communities not used to tropical rainfall amounts. Sea moisture, plus this heat dome, creates an all-day sauna the body cannot escape even at night. Dry lightning fires from earlier this week are still burning and creating hazardous air quality tonight. Phoenix and the Desert Southwest residents limit all outdoor exposure and check for red flag warnings daily. The I-95 corridor from D.C. to New York is one of the most densely populated in the nation. Tomorrow afternoon, explosive thunderstorms on I-95 will affect millions of commuters heading home from work. Strong monsoon season across Wyoming and Four Corners could crash moisture over the ridge into the upper Midwest. The Midwest and Ohio Valley rainfall corridor through July 1st tracks from Kansas east into Illinois. El Niño, keeping East Pacific temperatures warm, is also contributing to the intense ridge building over the U.S. This combination of Barrel's moisture tail, the squall line, and the heat dome is genuinely extraordinary. Being weather aware this week is not optional. Every region of America is dealing with something serious right now. We will be back tomorrow morning with full updates on Barrel's flood track and Thursday's storm corridor. Stay safe out there tonight, and remember, the weather in the next 10 days demands your full attention. Honest to goodness, June 2026 has been the most active weather month we have covered by far.